And look at this, by the way, I think this is one of the best headlines I've seen anywhere for a long time. Thunder and frightening. Thunder and frightening, LeBron holding his head. I'm doing the same thing. In fact, I got a double hit hold of the head. 148 points to Oklahoma City. The Cavs gave up. And basically, it could have been 160, 170. But what really got me holding my head, I don't know about LeBron, is when Tyronn Lue, the next day at practice, came out and said he plans no changes to his starting lineup. No changes. His starting lineup has been putting the Cavs down by anywhere from 8 to 12 points in most first quarters during this recent stretch, a stretch where they've lost 9 to 12. He has no changes. What are you watching? The Cavs' defense is an abomination. And it's not just about Isaiah Thomas. Clearly, Isaiah Thomas does not help the defense. But it's much deeper than that. When you've lost 9 of 12, when you gave up 148 points, a franchise record, I may add, when your team clearly, especially your starters, are so out of sync, and they act like they're 5 guys who got off 5 different buses, have never seen each other, and are trying to play a pickup game in a gym, how you could say, gee, I just want to keep this thing going, it's ridiculous. What Tyronn Lue needs to do is sit down, and this is a question I asked myself for a column over the weekend. Who are my better defensive players? Let's get them out there to start the game so we're not down by 10 points 8 to 10 minutes into it. So the first thing he has to do, all right, here's Tyronn Lue talking to Isaiah Thomas. They're smiling, whatever. He needs to say, Isaiah, I need you to go to the bench and be my 6th man. Come off the bench, fire away, be a spark, score. Because right now, that's how I feel, not just about you, but the whole unit. Because, by the way, I wish I could say they were asleep, because at least that would be better than how they are. They're not only asleep, they are destructive, refusing to help each other or whatever. So I said, okay, who are the better defensive players on the Cavs? I would start Jose Calderon and Dwayne Wade in the backcourt. J.R. Smith, once upon a time, was a good defensive player. J.R. has been in a funk for a year and a half. I could hardly watch it anymore. To the bench, J.R. Isaiah Thomas, you know, I think you're going to shoot your way out of it. I think you'll really help us as a scoring guard off the bench, but you need to come off the bench. And then I will start LeBron at forward. I would start Kevin Love at forward and Tristan Thompson at center and try to have that unit to start the game. And then come off the bench with Isaiah Thomas, Kyle Korver, Channing Frye, maybe Jay Crowder. By the way, Jay Crowder is another one like J.R. Smith. I don't know what happened to this guy. He was a good defender in Boston. He just seems totally just mystified by anything going on in Cleveland. And I really think, too, that, you know, Isaiah Thomas coming off the bench with the scoring would really help the team, because hopefully they're not giving up 40 points in their first quarter with the unit that I suggested. Furthermore, sometimes a coach just needs to do something with the lineup to send a message to the team, I'm not happy with how those guys are playing. Lenny Wilkins would do that back when I covered in the late 80s, early 90s. Sometimes he would start Hot Rod Williams, or sometimes he'd put him on the bench. It wasn't necessarily, I want to get rid of Hot Rod Williams. It's that I just need to shake things up a little bit. I don't know whether Tyronn was afraid of stepping on people's feelings or what, but right now, the way he's going, by the way, I don't want to fire Lue. I just want him to say, hey, come on, you know what needs to be done. Go ahead and do it.